It's so sunny here. Hi!
Hello.
We made it.
I gotta say, things are looking dicey for us for a second.
Yeah, sorry. I got back 15 minutes ago from Des Moines. I was delivering wine. And maybe this is TMI, but I have a breastfeeding child, and so I had to pump real bad. So I couldn't come straight out. So I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I think all the mothers out there get it. And all the fathers probably do too.
I mean, yeah, they probably do. I'm going to move my table over. Sorry for the one person that's watching and is like, what is this woman doing?
Oh, but look at your sweatshirt. It's so cute.
Isn't it so cute? Our ever the talent, Rachel at the winery made it.
Oh, I love it. Hey, by the way, I caught some of Saturday night's deal. It was so good.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like having the live music was so fun too. I really enjoyed all of it. I had a great time.
Yes, for sure. It was awesome.
So we left last week and you were like, this is for somebody else. Hey, Liam, let's talk about fruit wine. And I was like, oh, we don't make fruit wine. We just use grapes. But I know some people because the IWGA, the Iowa Wine Growers Association, is super interconnected. And I felt like, well, I can maybe ask a favor. And I'm real honest with you, I only asked yesterday. So sorry to our guests who consented to come on because I asked very last minute. So we're talking fruit wine, right?
Yes. First of all, this was my parents' idea.
Oh.
Because my mom is a big fan of rhubarb wine.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked last weekend or 2 weeks ago, because it was when you and I were talking about it, if Soldier Creek made rhubarb wine.
Yeah.
They do not make rhubarb wine, but that would be a really interesting topic for Wine Wednesday because it can't be exactly the same, the process.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But
so
she always knows.
I do. I tend to know people, and really, I haven't seen these people in a long time, and I probably won't get to see him again until virtual conference comes along. But without further ado, I'm not going to make him wait any longer. So we have with us Zach Bott from Fireside and Ackerman Winery. Does that sound good?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So welcome, Zach.
Yeah, thank you. How are you guys doing?
Super. I'm great.
Really
are you
nice.
keeping busy down there?
Yeah, busy is not really a problem. We we have a little less staff than we used to have with the fun times that we're having, so we're staying fairly busy. It doesn't seem to be a problem. So
yeah,
we actually did take today off because it's like 55 degrees down here and sunny, and so we're kind of just doing a few things in our yard that we've ignored for the entire fall, and sort of our kids got out of school early, so all kinds of
perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So I know that like you are like the head wine person when it comes to making, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So for both wineries, for Fireside and Ackerman.
Yeah. I make all the wine for everything. I have an assistant that does help me some, but yeah, it's pretty much my show. Okay.
So Kaila Jo, if you're not familiar, Fireside and Ackerman Winery are both located in the Amana Colonies area. Ackerman is actually in Amana Colonies.
Yeah, Ackerman is the oldest winery in the state. It's in the Amana Colonies. Fireside Winery is kind of out in the country, about 10 miles away, kind of out by Tanger Outlet Mall. We started Fireside Winery in 2007, and then we ran that for I don't know how long, and then Ackerman, the people who owned it, decided to sell that to us. I don't know, 5 years ago maybe. Time kind of runs away from us, but and since we're so close, it kind of worked out, and we could kind of grow a little bit and do that. So now we have both those locations. So yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. And you're gonna go ahead, Kaila.
No, I just want to know the lowdown. Like what all you guys got,
I was just gonna say that. So Fireside, correct me if I'm wrong, like fruit wines there, just like grape wine.
No, so Fireside pretty much just makes So we make everything at the same place, like it's all in the same building. But so Fireside Winery was pretty much exclusively grape wine. We have a little over a 14-acre vineyard here that we raise about half of our grapes, and then we bring it. We do like everybody else. We bring in a little juice. We buy some grapes from some other people. Ackerman is almost exclusively fruit wines. Before we bought them, they made a few more grape wines, but we've kind of actually cut back on that and just focused on the fruit wines. So I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember. I'm gonna say we make about 20 different fruit wines and then about 30 some odd grape wines between.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Yeah. But stupid amazing.
Sure. I'll let you think that.
I mean,
so yeah, I think we have 52 or 53 labels right now, give or take.
Woof. And all of the labels are beautiful from a millennial perspective.
That's my wife's job. I have no input on that.
Well done. First, what are you drinking?
Strawberry wine. We decided we should get some wine out, and we actually had strawberries sitting around, which is really good if you like strawberries.
Yeah, perfect. I think when I went, I visited Ackerman last year, and that was my first time, even in the Amana colonies.
Mm-hmm.
I had elderberry wine, and maybe that's a weird one to like, but I liked that one.
I like elderberry quite a bit. It's a little earthier, like
yeah.
I don't know, kind of hard to explain, but yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
totally.
We kind of tell people with the fruit wines, the idea is if you like the fruit, you should like the wine. We try to keep it as much. We're not trying to like change it. Like we're just trying to make it taste like the fruit. So if you like strawberries, hopefully you'll like strawberry wine, and kind of up and down the line with everything we do.
So let's talk about your rhubarb wine specifically.
Okay, sure.
Like, how many pounds of rhubarb do you need to make like one bottle of wine? Sorry, that's a crazy question.
So we kind of figure, and it depends a little bit. It's usually about 11 or 12 pounds per gallon. So you figure a gallon's 5 bottles. So, which I can never remember off the top of my head. It's a little more than grapes. Rhubarb, if you've eaten rhubarb, you know what it's like. It doesn't seem like there's very much juice in there. And there's different ways you can do it. Like there are people that will buy rhubarb and then soak it in water and then make wine out of that. We actually don't do that. So then you can make a little bit more. We actually just use the juice we get out of the rhubarb stock. So one of the things that we find is important, I don't know if you want me to talk about how we do it, is try to get those stocks frozen. Once they're frozen, and basically any fruit wine we make, we try to deal with frozen fruit, because after it's frozen, those cell walls break down. It's easier to get juice out. Your juice yields go up quite a little bit. So, yeah. So we try to buy local rhubarb. We do that in the spring. We usually buy between 3,000 and 5,000 pounds in the spring, and then we'll end up buying some frozen rhubarb where we can find it from. We deal with some brokers. We usually, in a given year, between 13 and 18,000 pounds of rhubarb a year, give or take. So, it's super fun. So we kind of do it just like grapes. We do try to run it through our crushing rollers a couple of times. We try to break it down. When it's frozen, it breaks down a little bit better. And then we just press it. It's hard and we're not gentle with it like you're gentle with grapes, right? Like we just press it as hard and as long as possible to get everything out of it. And then when we're done, like dry.
What would you say is the biggest difference between making a fruit wine versus like working with grapes?
I don't know. Like your acidities are a little different, so there's not really any malic acid in any of them, so we don't have to worry about that so much. The biggest thing is just having a nice clean fermentation. We really don't try to limit temperatures very much. We do keep them below 70 just to so they don't blow up on us, but we don't have to worry about retaining flavors that way. We've tried it. It doesn't seem to help. The biggest problem is you got to add a bunch of sugar because, rhubarb is like 3.5 to 4 bricks, and strawberries are like 6 bricks, and raspberries can be 4 to 8 depending on which ones you get. So
of sugar?
So bricks level. So
for like a comparison.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Percent sugar. So if we try to keep our alcohol levels on our fruit wines around 10. We don't like to get much higher than 10. a lot of, people think higher alcohol is better, but I think on these fruit wines, 10% is good. So we need to be around 20 or 21 bricks. So, and that rhubarb, we did some rhubarb a couple weeks ago, we had to put like 2,800 pounds of sugar in, which is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And is it all in 50-pound bags too?
Yeah. We aren't smart enough yet to try to like bring it in bulk. So
Wow.
it's a ladder and a mixing tank, right? So
Yep.
We do find, so some of them, rhubarb especially, we will see it, and I don't have a great answer for why. Sometimes we have a hard time getting it started. And we have to make sure we're adding nutrients. We're very diligent about adding some DAP a couple times on all the fruits. But no, it's pretty much like making grape wine, except for on the front end, we're not quite as gentle with the fruit as we are with the grapes. Like we really do try to press as much because the juice yield is not nearly as high. And we do natural fruit with most of them. We do make a few out of concentrates, like cranberry we make out of concentrate. We attempted making them with real cranberries once, and that was not very much fun.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah. And we don't find a benefit. It's kind of like buying white grape juice versus, getting whole white grapes. Like we don't see the benefits of doing that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot different. But yeah.
Do you have to, I don't know if you said this earlier, and sorry for leaving. I don't know what happened. With your fruits I know you said you press them a lot, but do you have to like macerate them a little bit before you put them in? Like, do you have to beat them up at all or not really?
No, we do. We run most of them through our crushing rollers. Yeah.
Right. You said that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
And then we have a screw pump. So by the time we run them, we lightly run them through the crushing rollers and we put them through that screw pump. We pretty much get them out. Pressing raspberries is a bit of a chore. We have a bladder press. If you can imagine a raspberry, like you got to be able to separate that raspberry, like it wants to go through our screens. So like we will add rice hulls at kind of a 1-to-1 ratio with raspberries, which seems like a lot, but if you do less than that, you won't get any juice. Like it'll just plug your bladder press. And the first time you do that is super duper fun. Like on a bladder press, you'll understand that, and if you haven't, you probably won't. But
no, I
the different complexities with the different types of fruits and like fruit shapes before.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have even considered that.
Yeah, so it's not too big a deal like I said, if the fruit is frozen. So like we've used unfrozen like rhubarb before, and that is very difficult because we have to like grind it through our crushing rollers like 4 or 5 times just to get it broke down. But once it's frozen, like any fruit you can think about, like if you put it in the freezer and then pull it out and let it thaw, it's almost mush, and it actually works pretty well.
Yeah.
So my wife told me that I should tell you about dandelion wine because that is one of the unique ones that we do. It's not really a fruit necessarily, but we do make dandelion wine. That is an old German wine that you make. And so every spring, which we didn't do this spring, which we're kind of regretting now, but because we didn't know what was going on, but we pay kids to pick dandelion heads, bring them to us. We pay $5 a gallon. We'll buy between 300 and 500 gallons of those a year, and then we'll soak those in hot water for about 36 to 48 hours, and that gives you like a stew kind of. And then we add a massive amount of sugar because the Brix level is 0. And then we'll ferment that. And dandelion wine's kind of one of our, old style German wines. It's a very unique wine. You either hate it or love it. Like in the spring, go out, grab a dandelion and like rub it between your fingers, and that's literally what it tastes like.
That's so true. When we went last year, I was like, well, I'm trying the whole list. Like, I don't care to know what everything tastes like. And okay, it's an extensive list.
Oh yeah.
And the dandelion wine, I was like, okay, well, I need to know what this one tastes like, obviously. And I wasn't sad. I liked it.
It's fine. It's not my favorite. When you ferment it, it does not have a pleasant aroma not fermentation's fine during when you're stewing those dandelions.
Yeah.
The first time we did it, I about had a heart attack. I thought I destroyed everything, and I called Les Ackerman, who owned Ackerman Winery, and he's like, "No, that's good. That's what it's supposed to smell like." Things like that.
I cannot believe that it's child labor. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like kids can make a lot of money. Like we have this one family that comes every year. They have 3 little girls. Like they get like $150 every year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Dang.
So
Kayla,
my kids won't. Yeah, my kids won't do it. So.
Oh.
I have one I can send over.
Yeah, bring them down. It's usually the first weekend in May, and there is a tight window on it. It's kind of dandelions really only hit for about 2 weeks. So,
Yeah.
and we didn't do it this year. We didn't know what to do. We probably should have done it, but if you remember what the first week in May was like, it was not a very fun time around here.
No. How could you know?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
What about the rhubarb? Like, do you have like farmers that are growing that rhubarb?
Yeah, so there's quite a few people around here that. So what we've done, we've never had a freezer, so I've only really done it for a couple days. But like, we just run an ad in the paper, and there's a lot of people that have it growing out back. And I have one guy that brings me like 1,500 pounds every year. He's got a big pack of it. But most of it is like people have some in their backyard. They bring 40 or 50 pounds in. We pay them $1 a pound. And just sit in there and stand there and buy it till they're gone, and then next day we crush it up. So
that's great. That's amazing. Okay, so we've touched on strawberry, rhubarb, dandelion, cranberry, raspberry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like what are some other fruits that we're not thinking of? Elderberry, we talked about that.
We do elderberry. Elderberry we do from concentrate. We used to bring in whole elderberries, but it's kind of a time. Do you guys know what elderberries are? Like, you can go pick elderberries out in your trees. Like, it's not, people don't, you can buy whole elderberries, but it's kind of hard. Anyway. So we do mango, which is kind of a big one. That's fairly straightforward. We buy chunked mango, and it comes frozen, and we press that. Let's see, strawberry, mango. I should have a list in front of me. I can't remember.
Okay.
We do a peach wine. Yeah, we do a mead. Mead's been very popular. We got a guy from down by Linville we buy honey from, Ebert's Honey Farm. We've been doing that for about 2 years. Peach we started doing we just buying juice. I don't know, we could probably buy peaches. We do cherry, plum.
Ooh.
And then we mix. Probably one of our popular is a cranberry plum mixed together, and we play around with that some. What other fruits?
While you're thinking about other fruits, we have
blueberry. Yeah.
Oh, blueberry. I have to throw out. I'm assuming this is Jeremy Colehouse. He said, all caps, are we going to address the mustache? So I think you need to tell the people.
So my son and I got a haircut on March 15th, and we have not had one since. I don't know if you can really tell that, but I got some hair.
Look at it.
And then I really hadn't been shaving very much, and then we decided to shave, I don't know, like a week ago. And I did this, and my wife laughed so hard at me that I decided to leave it. And I pretty much, if I'm not at home, I'm wearing a mask anyway, so no one even can tell. And I did not know I was doing this until about 3 o'clock today, so I didn't have time to shave. So here we are.
You're welcome.
I really don't care. Like, it is what it is. At this point in the pandemic, like, we are beyond, we don't care. We are where we are.
Agreed.
Yeah. It's just another thing to kind of make people smile once in a while, and we all need that.
I liked it. To me, I thought this is a nice addition.
Yeah, and we are all, I guess since we're on that, and we're all in very good mood because Iowa State football is amazing, and we're going to make sure we bring that up every time we're anywhere. I got
ranked number what in the country?
Number 7.
So, not to take it away from Iowa State football, because
kind of the most important thing in the world, but go ahead.
How far away are we from, like, what one is closer to us? Do you know, Megan, off the top of your head?
What is close? What do you mean? What?
Fireside or Ackerman? Like, how far away?
They're
about the same.
They're very similar.
We're like what? Probably Fort Dodge is probably. What are you guys? An hour from Des Moines?
We're about almost 2 hours. So I think it's a good 3.5 hours.
Yeah, almost 3 hours. We can be in Des Moines in an hour. So yeah. So it's 3 hours. It's about the same. Like I said, if you know where the outlet mall is at Tanger.
Yeah.
About 20 miles west of Iowa City.
It's worth a trip, definitely.
I was gonna say, I feel like this is somewhere I want to go.
Yeah, it's an awesome place to go. And so the Mana Colonies itself we have a really good brewery down there at Millstream, and then they just opened a new hotel.
Nice.
Hotel Millwright. See, I don't know the names of stuff, but they had a woolen mill that they redid that's really cool. I haven't been there since they finished, but it's supposed to be really nice.
Yeah.
Tons of shops. The Mana Colonies is kind of like one of the biggest tourist attractions in the state of Iowa. We obviously our winery, and then there's 2 other wineries, smaller kind of Mana wineries, and then German food and German stuff everywhere. Yeah. So, and then we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So we have an outlet mall right next to us.
The Fireside Winery is really great. Like, I think really nice views.
Personally. We're very pretty outside. We do music in the summer, like everybody. Yeah.
Because it's nothing here, but it's beautiful at Fireside. And
that's not true. You guys, it's not totally flat up there, right? It's pretty nice.
I mean, it's flat where we are, but you're right. It's not.
But you have it decorated very nicely, so that really makes.
I like your place. I haven't been there in a while, but I'm sure it is.
Well, I mean, when COVID is over, we're all going to go back to it, right?
God, I hope so. Go somewhere.
I mean, we're going to need to drink a long time.
I don't even cover up that mustache to take a drink. Put the beverage down. Let that baby shine.
Yeah, well, I have to drink a little bit. Gotta have a little water.
We did have a question from the audience. I think they're wondering if you're going to do any vegetable wine. They proposed avocado and onion.
Yeah. So probably not. I've tried, and one that I've talked about, but before I answer that question, one thing that I'll tell you about our winery is we have a hard and fast rule that if we make a new wine, an old wine has to go. And that is a very difficult thing to agree with. So it's very difficult to pitch me a new wine. But I've tried a tomato wine that's like really, really good. But I don't think we're going to.
Yeah, I mean, I can see because I've made tomato jam before, and that's really tasty. So I can.
And I don't know if do you get a lot of local people that drop you off bottles of wine randomly? I don't know. We've had a banana wine. We've had a couple jalapeno wines.
Yeah, jalapeno.
I had a gentleman, and I actually bottled it for him. He had, this was years ago. He made a tomato wine it was pretty good, but I don't know. The next fruit wine that we want to try, and I don't know, we were going to do it this summer, but it was terrible. Is try to do watermelon wine.
Ooh,
it was actual watermelons.
Yeah,
but maybe this summer will be better. We had all kinds of good intentions. This summer was so crappy, we weren't doing anything new.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like this summer was just keep it open, keep it even, and sell some wine.
Yeah.
Totes.
So, no, it's fruit wines are fun. It's different. They're quite a little bit. That's the other thing I mentioned. They're all quite a little bit sweeter than our grape wines. We keep them fairly sweet. We have tried doing some drier fruit wines, and they do not go over well. So we don't fight that battle really hard anymore. But yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, well, I can imagine.
Yeah, and they're fun to play with. We're lucky. The gals that work there, they come up with cocktails and stuff with them all the time.
That's smart.
I don't have much of an imagination for that stuff, but they do. And I don't know what they do, but they mix them together and mix them with other stuff and come up with some pretty cool stuff. And like I said, they do taste like the fruit, so they're really good.
That's a good idea. Well, I don't know about you, Kaila Jo, but I feel like he answered all my questions.
That's good. That's why I was here.
Totes. Well, thank you for joining us. I know I've kept you longer. Whoever manages your Facebook account said you needed to shear some sheep, so I'm not going to keep you from that.
I'm about half done. I got about five or six more to go. So Yeah.
Well, jack of all trades. We don't want to keep you on that. So, but thank
Yeah.
you for joining us.
Yeah, it was good to see y'all. Be good.
Yeah. Cheers. Virtual cheers. Woo.
Yep.
Cheers.
My glass is empty, but good job.
Well.